Remember when Pluto got kicked out of the Planet Club? Yeah, rough times. Thank you, International Astronomical Union. But with all jokes aside, nature might be making it up to us with something even bigger, darker, and way weirder hiding in the shadows of our solar system. They're calling it Planet 9. And no, it's not a sequel. Nowadays, astronomers are watching small, frozen worlds orbiting past Neptune, known as trans-Neptunian objects or TNOs. And these objects follow orbital paths that make no sense. Their orbits are tilted, their positions are clustered, and some of them behave like they are being pulled by something massive, something invisible. But there is nothing there, at least nothing we can see. So either the laws of physics are broken, or something big is lurking in the dark. That something is what scientists are calling Planet 9, a theoretical world possibly 10 times the mass of Earth, orbiting far beyond Pluto. If it's real, it's bigger than Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. And it's part of our own solar system. Let that sink in for a second. We might have missed an entire planet. And the kicker? This mysterious planet could be orbiting the Sun once every 10,000 to 20,000 years. That means it's so far out, it might take a full human civilization to complete one orbit. If Planet 9 exists, it's out there right now, hiding, watching, tugging at the edges of our solar system like a cosmic phantom. So, what is this hidden giant? And how is it possible that in the age of space telescopes and deep sky surveys, we still haven't found it? Let's get one thing straight. No one's seen Planet 9. There is no photo, no telescope snapshot, no dot in the sky labeled, there it is. And yet, the evidence for it is mounting. It all started with some very confused orbits. Astronomers studying trans-Neptunian objects, those small icy bodies way past Pluto, noticed something weird. Instead of moving in random directions, many of them were huddled together on the same side of the solar system. Their orbits were elongated, tilted at similar angles, and oddly aligned, almost like they were being guided by something. But what? Enter Caltech astronomers Mike Brown and Konstantin Batygin, who in 2016 ran the math and came to a wild conclusion. These weird orbits could be explained by gravitational pull of a hidden planet. A big one. Something 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth, orbiting up to 20 times further than Neptune. Their simulations didn't just make the cluster impossible, they made it probable. If Planet 9 existed, it would naturally shepherd these TNOs into those strange orbits. Without it, the odds of this orbital clustering happening randomly are about 1 in 15,000. That's not just a coincidence, that's a cosmic clue. But it didn't stop there. Over the years, more objects have been discovered with similar weird orbits. One of the most famous is Sedna, a dwarf planet whose path around the Sun is so long and so detached from the known planets, it practically screams, "Something pushed me here." And it's not just Sedna. There are now over half a dozen extreme trans-Neptunian objects, each with orbits that seem to point towards something massive pulling the strings from deep space. Some astronomers have even spotted anti-aligned objects, TNOs that orbit in the opposite direction, which also support the idea of stabilizing gravitational presence. So no, we haven't seen Planet 9. But it's like this. If you walk into a room and all the chairs are facing the same way, someone moved them. You may not see who did it, but something caused that pattern. Planet 9 might be just that cosmic mover. If Planet 9 is real, what exactly are we dealing with? Well, based on the gravitational effects it seems to be having on distant objects, scientists estimate it could be a super-Earth, a planet 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth, but smaller than Uranus or Neptune. That would make it the 5th largest planet in our solar system. Not a bad resume for something we haven't even seen yet. It's likely cold, very cold. We are talking minus 200 degrees Celsius or lower. It would be orbiting in the frozen outskirts of our solar system, possibly 600 to 1200 times further from the Sun than Earth. That's so far out, the Sun would just look like a bright star in the sky. Not exactly vacation weather. Some models suggest it could be a gas-rich mini-Neptune, a world with a thick atmosphere of hydrogen and helium, slowly drifting through space in a massive stretched-out orbit. Others think it could be a rocky, icy planet, a kind of a frozen Earth on a 10,000-year pilgrimage around the Sun. But there is an even stranger possibility floating around. Planet 9 may not be a planet at all. Some theorists have proposed it could be a primordial black hole, an ancient remnant from the early universe, about the size of a grapefruit but with the mass of a planet. Sounds wild, right? But believe it or not, some gravitational models suggest a compact, high-mass object could produce the same orbital anomalies we are seeing. Now, that theory is way out on the fringe, but it's not impossible. And honestly, who wouldn't click on a video called "Did we find a black hole in our own solar system?" Regardless of what Planet 9 turns out to be, one thing's clear. It would be unlike anything else we've discovered in recent history. A hidden giant, possibly captured from another star system, maybe even formed far from the sun and only later joined our celestial crew. And if that's true, it changes everything we thought we knew about how the solar system formed. Because if we missed something that big for this long, what else might be hiding in the cosmic shadows? If you enjoy watching videos about cosmic mysteries, hit the subscribe button because at Spaceopedia, that's what we do. Don't forget to hit the like button and join our communities on Reddit and Discord. Links are in the description below. So, if Planet 9 is real, and possibly the 5th largest planet in the solar system, how is it still missing? It's a fair question. I mean, we've sent probes past Pluto, we've mapped the surfaces of distant moons, we've taken close-up pictures of galaxies billions of light years away. And yet, somehow, we can't find a planet in our own neighborhood. Here is why. Planet 9, if it exists, is orbiting way out in the solar system's furthest reaches, an area called the scattered disk. This is a cold, dark zone filled with icy debris where the sun looks like a faraway glimmer and objects move painfully slow. If Planet 9 is out there, it could be hundreds of billions of kilometers from Earth, so far that it takes 10,000 to 20,000 years to make a single orbit. Now, imagine trying to spot something that cold and that far away. It wouldn't reflect much sunlight. It would move so slowly it might appear stationary against the background stars. And depending on where it is in its orbit, it could be sitting in a region of sky we haven't scanned thoroughly, like a patch with high star density or lots of galactic dust. Basically, it's like finding a golf ball in a dark warehouse the size of North America using a flashlight. To make matters worse, if Planet 9 has a low albedo, meaning it reflects very little light, it becomes nearly invisible to optical telescopes. That's why astronomers are also using infrared and microwave instruments like the Subaru telescope in Hawaii and data from NASA's WISE mission to search for faint heat signatures. Still no luck. Yet. But researchers aren't giving up. A new wave of sky surveys like the upcoming Vera Rubin Observatory is designed to scan huge portions of the sky with incredible sensitivity. If Planet 9 is out there, the Rubin telescope could finally catch it. And here is a fun twist. It's also possible that we already have an image of Planet 9, buried in years of telescope data, mislabeled or overlooked because it seemed unremarkable at the time. Some researchers are now turning to AI and machine learning to comb through old data just in case. Because sometimes the hardest thing to see is the thing hiding in plain sight. For every scientist convinced that something massive is lurking out there in the dark, there is another who thinks the whole Planet 9 idea is just clever storytelling. And that's not just academic bickering. The debate is fierce and grounded in real questions about how we interpret data from the edges of our solar system. The strongest case against Planet 9? Observational bias. Critics argue that the apparent orbital clustering of trans-Neptunian objects, the very evidence Planet 9 supporters lean on, might be a trick of the telescope, literally, because we tend to survey certain parts of the sky more often than others. The weird orbits could just reflect where we've been looking, not what's actually out there. It's a bit like flipping a coin, but only recording the results when it lands on tails. Eventually, you're going to think something's broken, but it's really just a sampling issue. One 2017 study from researchers at the University of Cambridge suggested that once you account for where telescopes have searched and for how long, the so-called clustering of TNOs disappears. In their words, Planet 9 might just be a mirage. Others have pointed out that computer simulations can create similar orbital patterns without needing a hidden planet. Instead, they use interactions between many smaller objects, like gravitational chaos theory in action. No planet needed, just enough small bodies in the right configuration. But here is the twist. Every time someone tries to mathematically kill Planet 9, new anomalies pop up. More TNOs are discovered with strange orbits. Some are tilted 90 degrees to the solar system's plane. Others orbit in the opposite directions entirely. These objects shouldn't exist unless something is disturbing them. Even scientists skeptical of Planet 9 admit there is definitely something weird going on out there. And then there is the public factor. The idea of a hidden planet just sounds cool. People want it to be true. It's the kind of mystery that blends science with myth, like a cosmic treasure hunt. So is Planet 9 real? The truth is, both sides are playing a game of cosmic statistics. And until we actually spot it, or rule it out completely, we are all just interpreting the shadows. Okay, let's say Planet 9 is real. It's out there right now, dark, distant, and drifting slowly through the outer solar system. What happens if we finally spot it? For starters, it would be the first new planet discovered in our solar system in over 170 years. The last one was Neptune, back in 1846, and even that was found using math, not visuals. Finding Planet 9 would be a seismic moment in the history of astronomy. Not just a scientific win, a cultural one. Suddenly, the solar system we thought we knew would get rewritten. Every diagram, every classroom model, every textbook updated. We'd have to rethink how our solar system is structured and how it formed. Because Planet 9, if it exists, doesn't behave like the other planets. It's not sitting in a neat circular orbit like Earth or Mars. It's out on an extreme elongated path, something that suggests a different origin story entirely. Maybe it formed in the inner solar system and got kicked out during a chaotic planetary shuffle billions of years ago. Or maybe it didn't even form here. Some researchers believe Planet 9 could be a captured rogue planet, a world that once floated through interstellar space unattached to any star system until our sun's gravity snagged it during the solar system's youth. That would make it an interstellar refugee, a cosmic orphan adopted by our sun. Either way, it changes our entire understanding of how solar systems form and evolve. It also raises some uncomfortable questions. If we missed this planet, how many other massive objects could be lurking in the far reaches of our solar system and beyond? And here is the really fun part. If Planet 9 exists, it might have moons, maybe even rings, maybe, just maybe, subsurface oceans. In other words, this isn't just a cold rock drifting in the dark. It could be an entire mini-world waiting to be explored. One discovery like that could reshape planetary science overnight. Because if we are still finding new planets in our own neighborhood, what does that say about how much we don't know? And if a super Earth has been hiding in plain sight this whole time, what else is out there just beyond the edge of the map? Whether it's real or not, the hunt for Planet 9 reveals something deeper than just a missing planet. It shows us that we don't have it all figured out, not even close. For centuries we thought our solar system was complete. Then we found Uranus, then Neptune, then Pluto, then dozens of dwarf planets, strange moons, and now maybe a hidden giant drifting in the cold. And that's what makes Planet 9 so fascinating. It's not just the possibility of finding a new world, it's the idea that we've missed something massive right here in our cosmic garden for centuries. With all of our telescopes, all of our satellites, all of our science, we still don't see everything. The universe isn't a finished puzzle, it's an evolving one. And the more pieces we find, the more we realize how many are still missing. Whether Planet 9 is a frozen super Earth, a rogue gas giant, or just a mirage of the math, it's a reminder of what astronomy is really about. Questions. Big, bold, uncomfortable questions. Because sometimes those questions lead to new planets. Sometimes they lead to black holes, and sometimes they lead to better questions. So maybe Planet 9 is out there right now, creeping along the edge of the solar system, casting shadows we can't see, pulling icy objects into weird paths like a cosmic puppeteer. Or maybe it's not. But the search, the mystery, that's the thrill. Because when we stare into deep space, dark places at the edge of our solar system, we are not just looking for a planet. We are looking for the limits of our own understanding. And every now and then, we find out those limits were never there in the first place. Thank you for watching. Keep looking up.